Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it's time for us to do those 1 minute book recs. This is where we go over all the books we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsises for each book. We're going to give the little warning that Mandy doesn't feel good, so she might cough a little bit in the video.
That is true.
Yeah, poor Mandy.
I've been down and out with the sickness.
Yeah. Be getting down with the sickness.
Oh.
Love it.
Is that how that song goes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Down with
That's
the
how
sickness.
sick I am. I don't know what's happening.
No.
I literally was so sick. I had appointments that Jay's I think you're supposed to be at physical therapy in 30 minutes. I'm like, no, that's on Thursday. And he's like, it is Thursday? I'm like, shit. So having to call, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And the lady, I was explaining to her what happened, and she's like, I can tell you sound really bad. She's like, I'm so sorry you're sick, because usually places are not super friendly when you call literally 30 minutes before your appointment, which I understand. I totally understand. I was just that sick. I didn't.
Yeah. Poor Mandy.
So if
I also want to give a little caveat too that you and I both have snow on the ground. It affects our internet. Things we've been having glitches, but they're not showing up on the recording. So if they do, sorry. It's just because our internet doesn't like to work when we have severe weather, and we both have it right now. So. Okay, so before we get started with talking about our reading week, I think we have some housekeeping stuff. Some really good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got my ho 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 for the holiday romance sticker. I am so excited about this. You may remember in December I was reading a book a week for this challenge. So this is part of the Hot and Bothered. I think they call themselves the Hot and Bothered Book Club. It's a bunch of authors. You can find their Facebook group, but they do fun bingos and challenges and stuff. So I just really want everybody to know I got my sticker.
I'm proud of you for working that hard for a sticker. So,
hey, I really enjoyed the books. It was fun.
Good. I'm a carrot chaser, so I get it. Like a carrot's a carrot. You tell me I'm going to get something for free, I'm going to work on that.
So we have been teasing for a little while that we will be doing another giveaway. So I'm very, very excited to announce that I personally have partnered with Coveted Cover.
You can say that.
Because I'm the ambassador.
Yes.
And so when we reach 3,000, we are going to give away their very first subscription box. So, and not just the box, but the books inside.
You're just getting the box, guys. No, that's not
so true. We have Black Skies Riviera by Catherine Welcher. And I don't know if you can see, there's the beautiful edges. The books are also numbered, which is really kind of cool. And then there's also
edition, so there's only so many in print. So they are numbered.
Then there's a London Vellum, which this happens to be our book club read as well. But you would not want to actually read this. I have a short up, so you can go look for that if you want to see what they look like inside. And I was extremely careful because I didn't know.
Did you read the letters that are inside?
I have not yet because I need to ask Jessica if she has a copy.
So you don't have to open them? So what we're talking about is there are letters. This is a letter from her husband, because Catherine passed away last year, to her readers, and it gets me every time. The first line says she was always a writer even before she wrote those first lines, and every time I just break down. There's a letter from BJ Alpha in here because they were friends. There's a letter from Joanne Oates. She was a reader that got close to her. We have the In Loving Memory. There's a letter from Cora Kenborn and Imogen Wells. Cora Kenborn was a co-writer of hers, and Imogen Wells is another writer. And then there's one other one from Indy Marie, who's another author. So those are in there. So I would open it just to read those, but be careful. Don't crack the spine.
Yeah. So when we reach 3,000, one lucky subscriber is going to be getting this box. So make sure you've subscribed so you will be in the know when we get to 3,000 on how we will be giving this away, but you will need to be subscribed to be able to enter, obviously. So thank you for supporting our channel, for helping us grow as we have been and helping us get to 3,000. So spread the word and we will be giving this book box away. And in the meantime, you can go sign up. You cannot get Catherine's box anymore, but you can still sign up to subscribe to Coveted Cover. And down below is all the information on that and a code to save you 10% off your first box.
Yeah. So the next books we have is our March, April box. And we're making the announcement later on Monday who that author is, but I think you already know.
I know.
Yeah, and I think you have the books.
I do.
Are you going to show them off?
Oh, I can do that in this video?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know I could. Oh, I'm so excited because I love... Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm really excited because these ones have such great... I love the sprayed edges with the hands in one. They're like reaching and then the next one they're like glass.
So
I loved
good.
it.
I know.
So
Okay.
if you didn't know, it is M. Robinson. So we have the first, I just love this magenta pink color. So we have Road to Nowhere. And again, and then you can see what I was talking about with the hands.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, the top has the moon, the bottom has the petal.
And then, oh.
I know.
I will have an unboxing video for this out as well so you can see.
Yeah. And those are locations from the book.
Better.
That are in the edges.
My video shows it off much better. And that will be out out shortly.
Out shortly.
Here's the other one.
Yeah. Ends here.
And then you can see where the hands are like actually reaching. So I was like, that's so cool when you put them together. Like,
aren't they awesome?
I love that.
Yeah, these turned out great. The colors are just beautiful. So these are what will be in our second box that's shipping in March.
And Jessica spends a lot of time working on these pictures with her artists.
I want them to be perfect.
We particularly discussed this picture quite a few times.
Yeah, because it was not right.
It wasn't. So Jessica
is that
really...
a Harley-Davidson store, or is that...
I love how... I don't know if this was coordinated on purpose, but I love the magenta signing.
Yeah. Monica knew, M. Robinson knew what we were... what the cover looked like before.
I just love these so much.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love both sets, but the magenta petals just really did it for me.
They're perfect.
You guys are doing such a phenomenal job with this book box.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks.
So again, you can subscribe and you can still get Monica's books if you subscribe now. And I think you have till like the end of April to jump on for Monica's.
Then I'm just going to let you guys know, if you're here and you watch the channel and you vibe with me, like a lot of my favorite authors that we talk about are what is coming up. So, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
The lineup is phenomenal.
You want to be here. So
I can be bribed to spill secrets in exchange for books.
Oh, you're funny.
She thinks I'm kidding.
She wouldn't do anything to lose her ambassador status. So
yeah, I'm getting a sash.
Yeah, I think you might even get a tiara. I don't know, we've been talking about it. We got to get it designed somewhere. I don't know. I
was not aware of the tiara, but now I'm really on board. So it's going to take a lot of books to get me to spill any secrets.
Okay. All right. So let's get started with these book recs from this last week. Let's talk about our week. So I know you were sick, but how was your week?
I read. I got 8 books in, which really surprised me because I had 3 days where I literally didn't read at all.
I got 7 books in. So, yeah.
How are you doing with your Unstuff the Kindle challenge?
I haven't been paying attention to it.
I'm trying to do it, and I started with 63 books on my Kindle. I know yours is probably like 563. And I thought I was getting books off of there, and I looked the other day, and I am still at 63. So as I unstuff, I add more.
Apparently, yeah.
It's a problem.
It's not easy. And being a mood reader, like it's just not working for me. So
yeah, I don't know whose dumb idea it was to try and
well, in this week too, with me getting all the boxes ready to go out, I listened to a lot of audiobooks when I could focus and listen to an audiobook. And so a lot of the books that I have that could be a part of the challenge don't have audio, so that didn't work. So okay, let's hear about your first book.
My first book is an ARC I got. It's called Silver Fox by Stevie Sparks, and it is out. I'm a little confused because it looks like it's already out, but it said it wasn't coming out until February 12th, but it looks like you can already grab it. So you have to read the dedication in this book. It is hilarious. She lists all the smutty words that she uses. It made me really crack up. So we have Sky. Sky walks in on her cheating boyfriend with her sister. She did not get the lecture from Jessica's mom, apparently, that Jessica told us about a couple weeks ago. So anyways, she is sort of indifferent to all of it because kind of, like how when somebody does something like that and you're like, wow, you just were not really great for my life. So she's kind of indifferent. It sucks, but she's not like devastated like she thought she might be. And so she takes her cat, they go stay in a hotel, and she goes to a local bar and gets all dressed up and goes out. And when she gets there, she remembers it is Valentine's Day, which is, a little bit of a bummer. Crazy boyfriend, though, follows her there. And they have a little bit of an altercation where Silas steps in and takes control of the situation. And oh my gosh, Silas definitely has those Silver Fox daddy vibes. I really enjoyed this one. It was really good. Solid 4 stars.
Okay.
Great for Valentine's Day.
Perfect. Okay, so for my first read, I'm going to stay on with you.
No, thank you.
Because I know you like to read your notes, so you can look down. It's okay. But my first read was Wedding the Wide Receiver. I can't even say that without messing up. Wedding the Wide Receiver by Lisa Suzanne. This was a part of our convincing. The video came out this past Thursday, and it was Siblings X. So to see what I thought, go watch that. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your next book?
Okay, my next book is the second book that comes after The Heartbreak List by Misty Murphy. So I read those Heartbreak Scars by Misty Murphy. I can't hold the book and set the timer at the same time. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Oh yeah, I'm sick.
It's you sick.
So America is Indy's best friend. We meet her in Indy's book, The Heartbreak List. And so America is trying to find her way in life after devastation because we find out that she has secretly been in love with Indy's boyfriend, who turned fiance in the other book. So this is her story. And I don't want to give stuff away because I feel like there's a little bit of not knowing when you read the other books. So I highly recommend starting with The Heartbreak List. Go read The Heartbreak List. It's really, really good. And then you can continue on with America's story.
Okay.
And I think that's all I'm going to say. And if you want more information, you can always message me.
Sounds good. All right. So the next book that I read this week was audio. I had to listen because I was busy. But that is Crossroads by Devney Perry. This is the one that last week I thought I had read, and then I pulled the book out and I was like, oh wait, that's the wrong one. Also, caveat, this type of cover sucks because if there's any hair of any kind, it clings to it. So just saying. Okay. So this is about India and West. This is a small town. This is on a ranch. India goes to this ranch where she's visited every summer for a week since she was about 8 years old, for the most part. And she buys it. She buys out West's father. They know each other. They've grown up together. And West is ticked off. He finds out that they're in debt and they're about to lose the ranch. And so it is a ranch where people can come and stay and have their vacation. So it's that type of a ranch. And so she buys out the ranch. Apparently there was a falling out between them in their early 20s. And we don't know exactly what happened. We just know that now they don't like each other because of whatever happened. This is their second chance romance. We see it in flashbacks told from when she was a little girl, and Wes was forced by his dad to hang out with her when she would come to visit, to when they're in their teens, and then we find out what happens to them. But it was so good. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was great.
Okay.
Okay.
So my next book is one that I went and read because I was working on clearing off my Kindle, even though it didn't meet any of the criteria. It was just a book I had started a while ago, and I'm like, oh, I should just try and I should go back and finish this. So that's Club Mafia: The Contract by Stella Andrews. And I will just tell you, I don't know why I bothered. So I just wrote why in my notes. I rated it 2. I did not enjoy it. The end.
Okay. Wow. We're sassy today.
So they're like in high school, and she's getting transferred to her brother's school because their dad's in the mafia and he likes to just mess with them, it sounds like. And so she has to go to her brother's school. Her brother is the other point of view through the whole story, but he's not her love interest, but he's the other point of view.
That's weird.
It was weird, and it was confusing because then I'm like, did I get the names mixed up? Like, what happened? And it was just a mess. And then she's like, her dad decides she's going to marry somebody else. And, ugh.
No thanks.
It ends with her not actually, like, ending up with the guy. Like, I guess we have to keep reading the series. I don't know. I didn't like it. So I'm like, I'm done.
Weird.
There was like very little interaction. It was very focused on her and the brother.
Okay.
But not in a K Webster
I can
way.
see why. I can see why. Yeah. I wouldn't have liked that either. So,
yeah.
Okay. So I went after reading Crossroads. I wanted to read the second book in that series because it just sounded good. And so that's what I did. So I went and read Sunlight by Devney Perry. So like I said, this is the second book in her Haven River Ranch series. This is about Sasha and Jax. So Jax is Wes's brother. We find out that they're half brothers. His dad had an affair, and that's where he had come from, and the mom had kind of raised him. So we see the setup for this in the book prior, even though you can read it as a standalone. I think you get more enjoyment if you read them together. But this is about Sasha. She has come to the farm to help India, or to the ranch to help India. India's going on maternity leave, and so she's going to be in charge during that time. Jax is there working. Obviously, he is now her boss because, you know, he's one of the owners of the ranch. And they hate each other. The minute she finds out that he's her boss, when she sees him in town, she instantly shuts down, and they don't really have much of a relationship. Jax is a womanizer. He sleeps with anybody and everybody, and so she just doesn't want anything to do with that. But they have one drunken night, and you guys know where this goes. She gets knocked up, and now they got to make a go of it and figure all this out. So, you know, that's their story. I gave it 4 stars. It's not really a solid 4. It's more of a soft 4. I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it as much as the first one. And this really is up my alley. It was just missing a little something, but I did like it. So, okay.
I think, oh no, I had 2 5 stars this week.
Okay.
Okay. Right. My next book is The Proposal by Adriana Locke. So this is Blakely's story. Dang it, I didn't set the timer again. Blakely's story. Blakely is turning 30, and she's just not handling it well. And I really want to make a joke about you.
Don't you?
I'm not. So her and her best friend Ella are in Vegas. They're celebrating, and Ella has been kind of on again, off again with Blakely's older brother. So Blakely's older brother ends up showing up with his best friend, Ren, who is the bad boy of rugby. And I just love when those bad boy pro athletes go to Vegas and they get hitched drunkenly. And that is what happens. Him and Blakely get married. They wake up in bed. She's got a big rock on her finger, and they are now married. And he has a proposal that they stay married for 90 days. So I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. I always enjoy Adriana Locke. She does a lot of the fake dating, fake marriage type things, or marriages of conveniences and those things, and I just love it.
Okay. So the next book that I picked up was one that I had on my TBR for this month, and I'm so glad that
you.
Thank you. I had a couple, I think, already, but yes, this for sure was one of them. And it is Embers by Claire Kent. The audio just came out this past Tuesday for it, so I jumped on that. I wanted to listen to the new audio. This is the third book in her Kindle series. And this is about Rachel and Cal. So at the beginning of this book, it's after the asteroid has hit the Earth. People are dying. It's a little bit into the apocalypse. And Rachel is living with her boyfriend at his mom's house. His mom has died from a sickness that infects the lungs, which now the boyfriend has. And that has something to do with the particles in the air. And so he's dying. He's coughing. He's really sick. And his estranged father shows up to take them to his cabin in the woods where he's kind of fortified everything and he's been living off the grid. And so he takes them out there, and we see that after a short period of time of getting out there, the boyfriend dies because it's inevitable. You're going to die if you get this sickness in your lungs. And so then we see she's left behind. Rachel is left behind with Cal, who is her boyfriend's dad. And then we fast forward 3 years later, and feelings have started to pop up. But not only like attractive feelings, like Cal has a lot of guilt over the fact that he likes his son's girlfriend, even though she's a virgin, she didn't do anything with him. Still, like that can't be easy. So yeah, 4.5 stars. There are times though
I just broke my shoe.
What? Broke your shoe?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's actually okay. Part of my shoe just came off.
Nice. Okay.
Sorry.
I will say, the way she kind of writes Cal, I kind of picture like the hillbilly in like the overalls and all dirty with the straw hanging out of his mouth. Just kind of the way she describes him. It took me a minute to get into him, and then I just started picturing Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my daddy. Anytime it's a daddy, it is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Sorry, it just is.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what's always up here.
Yeah, that's big brain right there.
Okay, what do you have?
Okay, well, next I read Dumped for Valentine's Day.
Oh no, okay.
I actually didn't read it. I listened to it on audio. It is part of Jay Sterling's The Holiday series that I've talked about a few times. So this is February's is Dumped for Valentine's. And so this is about Val. Val thought she was going to get a proposal on Valentine's Day, and instead she got dumped. So it's a little heartbreaking. And to like really like drive home his point, he kind of makes her feel bad about herself. And so she decides to go on an adventure because he tells her she never wants to leave New York City. She never wants to do anything. So she wants to prove him wrong. So she decides to go to Vail for Valentine's weekend because she just got dumped. And while she's there, she meets Jace, and her and Jace have a fling. And it just so happens that he also is from New York. So really enjoyed this one. 4 stars. Again, if you haven't heard me talk about it, you can get it on, for 1 credit, you can get all 12 novellas on Audible, or you can get them individually over on, they're not on KU, but I don't know if you can buy all 12 books together or if you buy them separate, but 1 credit gets you the whole series.
Okay.
And that is always a deal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next book that I have on my list is one that I got when we were in Vegas. I got A Major Puck Up by Brittany Nicole. So this one is, so if you guys have read Brittany Nicole and you've read Revenge Era, which is kind of like her Taylor Swift, Britney Spears kind of book, we see that that's a huge age gap, and it's Ford marries this girl who's way younger. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Anyhow, Ford is the best friend to our hero in this book, who is Gavin. He is an NHL coach, and his daughter, Millie, is our love interest. So Gavin has never met Millie. He knows that his best friend has these twins because her brother is on the team, but Millie's kind of the one that he doesn't really talk about a lot. And so he's just, he knows about his best friend's 2 sons, but not so much the daughter. So he meets a girl at a club one night, And they end up going back to his house. He takes her virginity. Well, that is Millie. And there is an 18-year age gap here. And Millie knew who he was. She went into it knowing who he was because she's upset with her dad for marrying somebody who's her age. And so she wanted to get revenge, and she figured this was the best way to do it. But she didn't count on the fact that feelings were going to be involved and that she was really going to start to like the guy. But then what happens when a baby's left on his doorstep?
And
it's during the time that they were on again, off again, that this baby would have been conceived. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I gave it solid 4 stars. I liked it. I listened to the audio. Yeah. Okay.
Next, I read Royally Endowed by Emma Chase.
I've read this before.
So this is about Logan and Ellie. Ellie has been crushing. So Ellie's part of the royal family, and she has a royal guard who is Logan, or he's one of the family guards, and she has been crushing on him for a long time. Logan secretly also has really noticed Ellie, but he takes his job very, very seriously and will not go there. But you know how these things are going to go. And there's also a situation going on that's going to require her to need to be protected. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say. Yep.
Okay. All right.
So,
I read it.
Yeah, I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. I read the whole series. I think you should too.
I am desperate. So if anybody has one, I want like a really, really good angsty bodyguard.
Yeah.
Okay. Where like heads will like, if there's any messing around. Because this one was good. Like he's, from the wrong side of the tracks and all of that stuff. But it's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
For
Just
them.
don't feel the angst. Yeah.
Yeah. I want the angst.
Okay.
So if anybody has a good bodyguard recommendation, let me know.
Okay. All right. So the next book that I have was an Omegaverse that I picked up this week, and it is called When She Needs Them Most by Jillian West. I read a few Jillian West. I like her writing. I like her books. So this is about Chelsea. Chelsea finds out at the beginning of the book she's pregnant, and she's not bonded to the alpha who got her pregnant. It was kind of a huge fluke. And she discovers that he had a brain tumor. And he has died. He didn't stand her up. He has just died. They've been dating for a little while. And at this point, she ends up, then we see like a few months down the road, she ends up moving to this small town, and she's about 9 months pregnant. And she moves in next door to these 3 alphas who work for a security company, but that's just a cover for what they really do. And the minute they meet her and they see her, they know that that is their mate. And they are infatuated. They do this. They just do things that make me laugh. They're just head over heels crazy for this woman, and she just doesn't see it. She just thinks she's a burden. She's 9 months pregnant. She's ready to pop, and all they want to do is take care of her and the baby. There are some other developments there. There's a stalker situation, whatever. 5 stars. Loved it because they were over the top crazy, and it just worked. So, and I knew who each and every one of them was. Just,
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. All right, what do you got next?
Okay, next I read a new to me author who is not a new author at all. So it's crazy to me that I had taken this long to read her, and I loved it. So I'm jumping on her bandwagon. Is that what I want to say? I will be reading more by her. So I read Wild for You by Kristen Proby.
Okay.
So this is about Remington. Remington is a single dad. He has 2 kiddos. He works the ranch. His mom's wanting to retire from doing some of the work. And so he really finds himself just needing a nanny. His sister is friends with Erin. Erin works at the local coffee shop, and she's not native to their town. Like she's a newcomer, but she's been there for a little while. And she is needing another job because she's got some car trouble. So she is like, oh, yeah, I could definitely help do the nanny thing. So she goes and meets Remington, and he is surprised to find out that she is the girl from the coffee shop that he knows. And so he hires her to be the nanny, and things are going great. And you kind of like feel like this might just be your normal nanny trope, but it is not. It has romantic suspense because there is a reason Homegirl left Seattle and moved to Montana. I have never called somebody Homegirl before, and I tried that out, and I will not be going back to that.
Okay. Well, yay to you for trying new things.
Yep. Loved it. I rated it 5 stars.
Okay. Speaking of trying new things, my Valentine, it's either Annika or Annika. I don't know if it's which one it is, but thank you so much. Sent me this book. You ready?
Right up your alley.
It is, but it's my first Minotaur book, so it's okay.
Your first what book?
Minotaur.
What's Minotaur?
That
guy?
He's a cow.
Thing?
Yeah, he's a bull. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So this one's been around for a while. We're going to see this author in Phoenix. So I'll be taking the book with me. I've wanted to read it for a while. I just hadn't got to it. So this is Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nacosta. The narrator said it different than what I would normally say it as, so I'm probably totally butchering it, so I'm sorry. Okay, so guys, this is about Violet and Rourke. So Violet is a human. She's living in this town that has all these, like, you know, these creatures. They've got trolls, they've got fae, they've got vampires, like you name it, it's there. You know, there's swamp monsters, there's all sorts of things. And she really needs a job. She's trying to pay off some debts. She's been going to school. She's got all this stuff going on. And she gets a job working at Morning Glory Milking Farm. It is a pharmaceutical company because in this world, Minotaur junk makes the little blue pills for the human men. And so her job is to go in and milk the cows with her hands. Or with the Minotaurs with her hands. It is a thing. And that is where she meets Rourke. He is one of her clients. And he takes a liking to her and she takes a liking to him. And things just go from there. So you muted yourself. I knew you would.
Well, because I had a coughing fit. I
gave it 4 stars.
So he gets milked?
Yeah. His wiener. It's that kind of milk. The milk only a man can give.
Oh my God, you read the weirdest shit.
Thanks, Annika. I knew you'd love it. On our next convincing. Correct you are. I was the one that read it. I do have to say, I was telling Jeff about it. I was telling my husband about it this morning. Then I was like, Mandy's going to die when she hears what I read this week. And he's like, this one is a little weird. And I was like, yeah, but it's good. And he's like, all right, you do you. Have fun. But he did agree that this one is a little different from even just the regular Alien. Like, he supports my weirdness. But, you know, that one might have been pushing the line a little bit. Can you keep it together when we meet her in Phoenix?
I'm probably going to need to go somewhere else.
Okay. All right. You have one more book.
I thought Milking Farm was going to be she was getting milked. That's what I thought this was going. And then it went in a totally different weird direction.
This is a who cow. This is not a who cow. This is
that's what that's called.
Yeah. This human cow. Who cow.
Okay.
No, this is a Minotaur milking. There's a lot of foreskin talk.
Okay, so I read Tempting the Player by Rebecca Jenshak next. It is completely normal. There's nothing odd about it at all. Sorry to disappoint everyone. Okay, so Jane used to be a childhood TV star. She's in college. This is part of the Campus Wildflower series, by the way. And Jane is in college now, and she has let people know that she used to play Ivy, and she had like a little bit of a stalker situation back in LA, and her parents are very worried about her being at college without a bodyguard. So they secretly hire one, and that's Hendrik. And Hendrik is this like hot guy that jogs past her house every day at noon, and he just happens to always be there when things go awry for her. And then she finds out that he's actually paid to be there. And this all happens very quickly, like towards the beginning of the book. It's also in the back of the blurb, so I'm not giving anything away. But yeah, so then from there, she still really needs a bodyguard because some other things start happening. And so I really, really enjoyed this one. Yeah, and so Hendrik is actually one of the brothers that starts our other series where I think you and I both read Burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So Hendrik is the oldest brother out of
Okay.
those guys.
Okay.
That series is still going on. I want to like she's
Yeah.
still writing it. I want to go read
Yeah.
the next one in that. So I did not realize that Hendrik, like I didn't realize the connection until I started reading this. But I read a few of the other Campus Wildflower series. I really enjoy it. I like Rebecca Chinchak's writing.
Okay.
There's no milking or anything crazy. It's just good books.
Okay.
Good contemporary romance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I already know
Maybe
what
you should try one of them.
I had several. Yeah. But you know, I need something weird once in a while. So okay. Well, that was our reading week.
No, it wasn't.
You have another one?
I do. Apparently I read 9 books. Did I tell you I read 8?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that wasn't our
Normally I just go along with you whenever you cut me
I know,
off
I'm glad you
before
actually
I'm done.
were,
You've
said
done that
something
before,
this
and I'm
time.
like, I'm done. But no, I have one
No.
more.
Okay,
The
tell us
reason
about
I
your
really
one.
know about this is because it is a wild book.
Oh, okay. All right. So tell us about your wild book.
So it's an arc that I got. This is The Broker by Nikki Sloan. And before I start talking, I want to make sure I get the dates right. So it releases February 13th, but you won't be able to get it on KU until February 20th.
Okay.
So just an FYI. So this is the 6th book in the Nashville Neighborhood series. And you might remember that she did say that she was probably done writing the Nashville Neighborhood. And then she felt like this book just kind of spoke to her. So she wrote it. And I am curious to see if we'll have more Nashville Neighborhood because I am in love with Pool Boy. Love it. This is not the Pool Boy. So if you like the architect in that series, then you are going to love The Broker. It is really wild. So we have Charlotte. Charlotte is Preston's date from The Good Girl that he like runs out on. So that's Charlotte. Charlotte, who also works at her dad's, she was like the receptionist filling in. So Noah is a new character to town. He knows the people and the architect. And he also has a job at her dad's place. He gets a job when he moves home. And he buys Judy's house. Judy is the busybody HOA lady. He buys her house. She has a fun little few cameos in the book as well. So this was it was a lot of fun to be back in the Nashville neighborhood. So Charlotte and Noah, I did not know this, but Noah is a bull, which you can kind of see on the book there, the book cover. Or no, it's not going to be up anymore. Anyway, he's a bull.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes
not
to the
not
sex
like
club.
my bull.
No. He goes to the sex club, and that's like his thing. And I think there's a scene that lasts 30 pages or so. Like 75% of this book is that. The other 25% is some plot. So this is Noah and Charlotte's story. And I'm just not going to I don't even know what else to say about it. It was wild. It was a little too wild for me. But I do really enjoy the Nashville neighborhood.
Okay.
And the Pool Boy makes a little teensy weensy bit of a...
Okay, finish your thought. Do you remember where you were?
I think that was my thought.
I know, but I did kind of cut you off at the end. Because he was talking rudely.
I said it was just a wild ride. I mean, a little
Yeah,
too wild
wild
for
ride.
me.
Yeah,
I really like the National Neighborhood though.
I know you do.
Yeah,
I know. Are you excited to meet Nikki Sloan in a week?
very excited to meet Nikki Sloan.
Yeah. So, okay, that was our reading week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This was our reading week.
All right.
So to sum it up, make sure that you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. Jessica is like the busiest homegirl out there. And she's, even though she like freaked out about us flying to Phoenix, she's like flying like 5 more times in like a month, 6 more times. I don't
I'm
know.
flying 3 total, including Phoenix. Well,
You have
back
to
and forth
fly
is 6.
back.
You know, I did freak out a little
So
bit about that.
Jessica's going to be gone, so Wednesdays may not be as exciting as they used to be in Bestie Book Review Land, but please comment and like our videos. It really helps us, and we really, really appreciate it. And make sure you've hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on the coveted cover giveaway when we get to 3,000. So, yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.